This won't give that balance, but ठीक है चलो.
But you should be able to see.
That's why I'll see from the side. Just my hands will shake, so
Barabar.
video should not shake. That's it.
Okay, just see
Yes.
if the frame is okay. On? Live session is on.
It's on.
Right? Okay. Now I have to share it. Wait. Sorry, give me a minute, guys. We're live, okay? Make sure this is correct. Thank you. Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for making it to the clinic. A lot of people have registered, they're all attending online, hence this hybrid session. Full marathon? Full timers. First time or you've done it before? Multiple times. Second time. Multiple times. Okay, all right. So let's get started with the session today. A quick introduction about myself. I'm Dr. Rajni Patil. I'm a spine and sports physio with about 23 years of experience. I conduct these sessions a lot, almost at least once a month, if not more. I do conduct sessions on various topics, health-related topics, obviously, and fitness-related topics. Running, because this is now peak of running season, I'm doing a lot of running-related sessions. So if you are not in my runners forum, then make sure you ask me for it and then get in the forum because a lot of these updates come in that. Okay, all right. So let's get started. What is your? You'll need the mic. We'll just go as what is your major? What is one question that you feel I want to know when I'm running a marathon?
How to increase stamina?
How to increase stamina. During the marathon?
Oh, running, I mean, okay, you get tired at the end of 30-35.
Like that. So how do you keep going from there?
How to keep the energy till end?
Till the end. Okay. Question?
Showing up at the start line without actually much injuries during the training.
Yes. During the training period, make sure that you reach the marathon before without any pain. Okay. Any question?
Maintaining the pace for a long distance.
Maintaining pace for a long distance. Okay. All right. So right now, I usually do this session closer to TMN, but I found that there were things that I can tell people now कि अभी time है. So there are things that you should do abhi se so that marathon ke liye it will be useful for you, right? Now people who are running full and half, first timers, they are the ones who generally need a lot of guidance because everything feels new and raised anxiety is very different, right? Do you agree? So on a practice run, कुछ खास problem नहीं होगा, but marathon day ऐसा event होगा तो उस दिन जरूर something or the other happens, correct? Would you say that's true?
Yeah.
What kinds of things happen? Cramps mostly. In fact, I took a quick poll for in the forum, in my runners forum, I asked a lot of runners, what is it that's bothering you? Tell me what cramps. सबसे बड़ा question. Okay? Almost everybody. You had a cramp before, you know what it feels like. Sometimes. Calf, na? Calf. Cramps?
I've had post-race.
Post-race cramps. Okay, so remind me to talk about that. Cramps? Not a problem. No cramps. Okay. So I thought that would be a great topic to start with. Cramps. Cramps happen generally in the calves, right? In the calf muscle. I know runners who sometimes get it in the foot. Toes become like that. Toes.
Especially in swimming, we get.
In swimming, you get that's the same thing. It's a cramp only. Runners usually get it in the calf, but sometimes I see toes also, they will not move. Occasionally in the quad, but mostly in the calf. Now, runners used to think that this is only a dehydration problem. Cramping is only a dehydration problem. However, this myth is now broken. There are many reasons why cramps hit you. Even psychology is one of that. Okay, so raised anxiety is one of the things that has been pointed out as cramps. क्यों हो सकता है? One, because you have to remember that your muscles are neuromuscularly connected to the brain, na? All the pathways are coming from the brain into your nerves. So if there is a misfiring there, then that's what's leading to a cramp. But having said that, hydration definitely plays a big role. So I've had, in fact, he might be attending this session right now. I had a patient from where he lives, I forget, Nasik, I think. He used to have repeated cramps. Almost every practice run, he would get a cramp. And race day pe, and then I think he was planning to run comrades, and he was terrified कि अभी cramp आएगा तो what to do. So for him, the strategies that I used, and then he was able to run cramp free. That's why I'm sharing with you this story. One was we checked his blood test. We did a complete blood test to figure out if his electrolytes are in balance. So it's a blood test that says serum electrolytes. So check that. If that is sufficient, if you think all the parameters are okay, that means that electrolyte imbalance is not there. Because there are a lot of runners who will drink only water, right? Which research tells us that only water is not enough, because in sweat you are losing the salts from the body. Hi, welcome.
Hello.
So, people are late. Come. Electrolyte balance, right? How do you maintain that? You need not just water is important, but you want to make sure that your electrolytes are also, so from sports drinks, from electrol, things like that, you want to have something that is supporting your electrolytes. So do a blood test, figure that out. This person that I'm talking about, his electrolytes were off, so I had to put him on electrol, and we had to, and then keep checking his blood reports like that. The second point is hydration. Hydration is a point, right? So you need to make sure that you're hydrated well. When do you need to hydrate? On a race day, yes. But preloading is more important. I have seen after Tata Ultra, especially because of the hilly terrain and massive cramps, and so involuntary that they can't move, nothing is possible, right? You can't even do anything, then you have to completely stop running. So this should not be you, right? So why did it happen? One is dehydration, electrolytes. If you have, once a cramp hits, then if you take electrolytes, it's not going to work. It's not going to help at that point, because the process of the cramp has started. Now all you can do is wait. But preloading is important. When do you need to preload? Abhi se.
15 days before.
Abhi se you have, yeah. So 10 days before, you need to make sure that you are hydrated really well. And preloading on electrolytes, not just water. Water intake. Carbs also you need to take, correct. So some of these sports drinks like Fast and Up, I know it has carbs also in it. So those, figure out what works for you that way. But of course, अगर electrolytes लेना है तो वो अब भी लो. अभी figure out करो कि what is working for you, because different things work for different people. और वो last 1 week में experiment नहीं करना. अभी से चालू करो, see if it's suiting you. But of course, if your blood test is clear, then you drink water, do the electrol. But if it is, if your blood test is showing that it's not great, then you need to see a physician or somebody to figure that, right? Second point, calf tightness. If you are prone to cramps, I guarantee you, you have trigger points in your calf muscles, which you are unaware of. When you do foam rolling, you will understand that you have trigger points. Or if I go with my hands and I'm palpating, then I'll be able to tell you that there are trigger points, right? If there is one trigger point, this can lead to a cramp. Why? Because the muscle is not able to now lengthen and shorten easily, because there is a trigger point sitting there. So how will you find out whether you have a trigger point? The easiest way is to foam roll it, and we'll do in demo. Foam roll it, or have somebody massage the calf, go for a deep tissue massage, sports massage, and there are chairs. Hello. So go for that, and then you'll figure out if there is a trigger point. If you have a trigger point, or if your calf is tight, then you have to make sure that this goes away. Otherwise, the cramp will definitely come. All right. A quick way to know if your calf is tight or not is to do a full squat. Who here is flexible? Nobody wants to commit. Come. You're always model, looks like. Come. So full squat all the way down to the floor. Now if you sit down all the way. Azum khali nahi. In that position, in the squat position, and you should be able to relax in this position. Okay, if I told him to stay here for, he can't. Now that means heel cords are little tight. Okay, who can do this? Try. So that's a great way to know if your heel cords, your soleus, which is the calf muscle, fully. Charisha, make sure I'm in the frame. Yeah, this. He should be able to sit here for hours if he needs to, right? This length of the calf is needed. You can go back up. So if this is not the case, that means your calf is already tight. That means you're either not foam rolling enough, you're not doing sports massage, things like that, right? So make sure that your calf is lengthened. If you have bigger points, get rid of them. How to get rid of them on your own? By foam rolling properly. Everybody does it wrong. I will teach you how to do that, right? Foam rolling and then stretching right afterwards. Okay, and stretches need to be intense. दिन में एक बार stretch कर लिया आते जाते few seconds here and there does not work. So you have to make sure that you're doing it 3-4 times a day abhi se. Foam rolling maybe once or twice a day, but stretching through the day. And I'll show you an easy one so that you can do it easy. Okay, that's the second part. The third reason for the cramp is pacing. Pacing techniques. Because of psychology or anxiety, oh my god, will I finish it? Will I get tired at the end? Will I have to slow down? So starting say okay, this leads to a cramp also. So whatever you have practiced, जो भी सबसे long run अब तक किया या करने वाले हो, उसमें याद रखो कि whatever breathing techniques you are using, whatever pacing techniques you are using, use the same one for your mat on your AC. Okay? So this is about cramp. How to know whether you are dehydrated or not? Dry. Dryness of the mouth, sure. What else?
Loss of energy.
Loss of energy or headache?
Yeah.
If you get running ke baad headache, then that's a sign.
You find you're going slowly because of the dehydration.
Dehydration could be also that you didn't carbo enough, or it could be many factors. But the short way to figure out if you are dehydrated is checking the color of your urine. Okay, so that needs to happen. Abhi se keeps an eye on it that it never becomes yellow. Okay, if it is yellow, you are dehydrated. A lot of people will. There is also this two philosophies about drinking water. Some people will say that if you're thirsty, you drink water, otherwise you don't. Okay? The other philosophy will say that if you are thirsty, the thirst response has come when you're already in a state of dehydration. Okay, now when you are running, your body demands more. Right? If you are in AC all day, chal jata hai. But if you are running, then your demands are more. So I would say don't wait for the thirst response. Do it ahead of time. If you're thirsty, that means you're already dehydrated. Right? That is dryness of mouth. Is that you're feeling the need to drink water? Correct?
Yes.
So we will take questions right at the end. If there are questions, so that I can pace myself. Like people told me, you tell runners to pace. I also need to pace my session. So let's move on to the next topic. If you have an injury right now, some of you have pain right now, like some knee pain, but you've had it for a while, so you're accommodating and adapting to it, right? You know how to deal with that. Any pain? Anybody? Pain issues? No pain. Okay. Yes.
Slightly pain on the heel.
Back pain. Okay. So if you have a pain now, if you wait till PMM, abhi your taper is not done yet. No, you're still running, right? You're going to probably run one or two more long runs. You're going to do. If you wait for this to wait and watch ये pain का क्या होने वाला है. If the pain intensifies 2 weeks or 1 week before TNN, then you will drop. So what should you do?
Strength training.
No.
Come to the clinic right now. Stop running and go for a treatment.
Yes. So the sooner you do something about it actively, the better. Okay, like he's used to his knee pain, he knows how he's accommodating, right? But you should figure out why it hurts and make sure it goes away. And I was telling Prashant the other day that I keep telling this to runners all the time कि भाई foam rolling करो कोई सुनता नहीं है. But Prashant learned it the hard way. Yeah, you want to share your story?
So we have this problem of always all of us have the problem of time. छोड़ो यार कुछ नहीं होता तो we will not do foam rolling, will not do stretching. So I had a SI joint pain. I came to the clinic some two weeks back, and it is she advised of course with the treatment to do stretching and foam rolling daily. So I was negotiating here once a week chalega kya and all that. No. Once how many times a day you ask me? But after that there has been no. Just before the start of this session, I was telling her that the pain has gone now.
So 4 runs now completely pain free. So now TMN potential.
नहीं है.
So and why I had him say this is because he mentioned people are attending sessions. They will attend my foam rolling sessions also. तो भी foam roller किसने नहीं लिया है तो पड़ा है घर पे. So he said that now I know the meaning why you were asking us to foam roll. So who of you are rolling right now? Foam rolling कौन कर रहा है? प्रशांत कर रहा है. Occasionally.
Not regular.
Not regular. Okay. So I'm going to give you like a full set of exercises that you need to do. अभी से करोगे तो better है. पर अभी जरूरत नहीं है. It is more for the 10 days just before TNN. That time you must do what I'm asking you, right? So foam rolling, making sure that you do that. Icing enough. That's what you need to do for your injury now. First step, if you are able to self-treat it, फटाफट self-treat करो. अगर नहीं हो रहा है, in 1 week it's not coming into control, then see sports physio of your choice. Make sure that you treat it now. अभी time है. Because it is only going to get worse. How will you self-treat it? With ice packs and with foam rolling and with stretching. And stretching has to be aggressive. It has to be done foam rolling and stretching twice a day minimum. Okay, itna and ice 3 to 4 times a day. There is a right and wrong way to ice also. So I want to show you that as well. In fact, we can do that with you now. So I think the right way is another topic. Everybody is doing ice wrong. Yeah, hot pack nobody I hope is using. Immediately after your runs, if you have any niggle, for example your knee, if it is bothering you thoda bhi, come home, put ice packs on. Okay, there is a right and wrong way to do the ice pack. You want to make sure that your joint is properly supported, it is compressed and elevated. Okay, so let's have somebody come. Slow down. So say his knee is bothering him. You're going to put the ice pack on the knee, ऐसा, and then raise the leg up, right? On whatever, pillow, wall, support, something like that, and tie this around. Make sure there is proper compression. खाली छोड़ दिया तो it's not going to work. Have something to tie it around. Will you be the doctor please? This is an ice pack that I use a lot also for runners. It's called Dr. Cool and it stays in the fridge or freezer wherever you want. And this provides compression along with the ice. You don't need to buy it. I'm just showing you that this is a possibility, it's available. So that, okay, so what it did it has the ice, but it also is giving you that compression. Okay, so that's the correct way to ice. If you do have trigger points at this point, then your physio might want to do dry needling. Some of you have done dry needling before. Dry needling is basically they put needles into the trigger points to make them go away. So if you have an injury along with the icing, dry needling helps a lot. I also have some of my runners who come last minute with pain. उनको हम tape करते हैं so that the joint is stable. So then payment खत्म, then no problem. Okay. So that's about icing correctly. Injury management I've told you. If there are any questions, please keep them in your mind and we'll take it later. Alright? Okay. Side stitch. Cramps that you get here. Have you experienced that while running? No? No? Okay. So, for the sake of people who are attending online, it is a common issue along with cramps. People get side stitches, pain here. Sometimes it is because if you have gulped water very quickly while you are running, या running से पहले खाया whatever you ate was a little too heavy, or you had too much water. Okay, so large quantities of water also you don't want to do. You want to sip slowly and give yourself small bouts of water. These are the reason why this happens. It's basically a cramp here, and then runners are not able to stand upright and run. They feel that they have to bend forward. So if this happens, all that you need to do is to make sure your diaphragm, you know what the diaphragm is, the muscle that sits here, it's a dome. It's your primary breathing muscle. You have to make sure that that muscle is activated. Because what that will do, it will make sure the abdominal muscles are then relaxed. So how do you do that? With the diaphragmatic breathing. So you place your hand on your belly. You can do it now. Place your hand on your belly. And then when you breathe in, your belly has to come out. And then when you breathe out, your belly has to go in. So you should be able to feel that. So do like a nice intense one, like a big breath in and big breath out. So 3 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Slowly. Correct. So this, if you do this kind of breathing, you were asking about endurance also. This helps in the latter part. So if you do a little bit of belly breathing before you start your run, automatically your breathing will be better fluid. Okay, this will help your stamina and endurance towards the end. If you feel that you are running out of breath, again you can do some belly breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, and that will give you some energy as well to run. Okay? If you have the cramp here, do the belly breathing. And then you want to do a stretch. So this is a stretch that you will do. Go down and then open and come back up. But you're doing belly breathing at the same time. So you're going from down and then breathing out and down. Right? So this is a stretch for side stitch. If you ever get those. But remember to take small gulps of water during. Alright? Okay, so that was about size. Eating and drinking 1 week before the marathon. What are your ideas? What have you done so far? What are your plans? Anything specific?
Eat carbs, carbohydrates, like rice or pasta or sweet potato, or and in drinking the water as well as with some. As well as some like electrolyte, like Energel or something like that. That's it.
Yes. Yes. So you want to make sure that your week before or 10 days before your eating and your drinking is properly planned. So going out at the time, staying late, all that is probably not a great idea. But when you're eating, you want to make sure that you're doing a good balance of carbs as well as protein. Carbohydrates और foods नया कुछ भी try नहीं करना है कभी. So जो घर का खाना अगर खा रहे हो अभी तो घर का ही खाना खाओ. Don't try कि मैं ये just for this day I will eat pasta. Don't do that. Okay, if you've been eating pasta, two carb load, that's totally fine. So that's what you need to do 1 week before. But the drinking water and electrolytes, sports drinks have to go in that week before for sure, every day. In fact, runners go if you don't have blood sugar. Obviously, if you are a diabetic patient, then you don't want to make sure that you do this. But if not, then you can do वो electrolyte का sachet आता है ना बड़ा वाला. Put it in a liter of water, like a big bottle of water, and sip through the day. एक sachet एक दिन में 7 दिन खत्म करो. Very effective for people who have cramps and if you feel low energy while you run. Right? Now let's talk about knee pain. Nobody else has knee pain here, no? No pain. Okay. So knee pain can be many things. This pain is chronic. Okay, so that the treatment for that is very different. But if you have knee pain now, which is acute, then uska treatment is little bit different. Knee pain depends on यहाँ pain है या यहाँ pain है. Where is your pain?
Outside.
On the outside. Outside. So pain on the front is called runner's knee. This is because of a lot of reasons. I had a session, injury session last month. Did you guys attend? Some of you had attended. So usme I told you in detail about why knee pain in runners comes and what you can do about it. But now, if you do have knee pain, then the way to treat it is you will roll your quad. If your quad is overloaded with the running, then that could be a reason why you have pain here. Okay? So roll, foam rolling for your quad, stretch your quad and activate your glutes. In okay? So activate the glutes. You guys know how to activate glutes. We'll do that a little bit in demo. Glutes activate karo, quad ko roll karo, quad ko stretch karo. Okay? Remind me we'll do this again. If you have pain, however, on the outer side of the knee, then what will you do? This is different. This is ITB syndrome. Very different from runner's knee, which is pain in the front. If you have known arthritis, then that is very different. Okay, so उसके लिए different treatments work, but for now, if you are self-treating it, then lots and lots of ice. You want to roll the ITB. So ice कहाँ करना है? सिर्फ यहाँ नहीं. Inflammation builds up in the whole side. तो ये पूरे में अच्छे से ice करो. And foam roll the ITB, but also quad and hamstring. Okay, so rolling that and again activating your glute max. Glute max is one of those muscles that is weak in a lot of runners, and I say this because I do gait analysis. Is a process that I do in the clinic, and I check strength for everybody, right? So when I check, I want to say about 80% of runners that I have come across, their glutes are totally inactive. Like I used to call it a dead butt syndrome, but I am now nicer and I say sleeping butt. Let's not say dead, but और कुछ हो नहीं सकता है, हो सकता है. We can wake it up. So making sure that the glutes are active. It's your primary muscle. If you are not using your glutes to run, then you are overloading your knee. You're overloading your ankle. Okay, so make sure that you're working on some glute exercises, and we will do that as well. So that's knee pain. Here, here. Alright. Now let me talk about shin splints. Anybody with shin splints? Do you know what shin splints are? Pain here. That is calf. Shin splints is pain in the front here.
Once I had long time.
Long time. Painful.
Yeah.
Quite painful. So if you have shin splints, pain in the front of the lower leg here, this, if you have it now, then you have to make sure that you ASAP go and treat it. Get it medically checked. Because it could be grade 1 bone strain. Okay, do you know stress fracture? What stress fracture means? No? Fracture pata hai na?
Yeah.
Fracture is like a clear break in the bone, right? A stress fracture is the bone doesn't completely break, but there is a crack.
Hairpin.
Hairline, you're saying? No, hairline also, yeah, hairline also can count, but a stress fracture is basically from overloading. So what has happened basically? Core and glutes are weak, so you kept running and you overloaded this. That's what has happened. Or shoes were wrong and hence you overloaded that. Correct? That's why this has started hurting. Now, if it is pain on the bone, which is here, then that is a situation where you need to stop running. Sad to say, because it's so close to TMM. In fact, this year I do have one patient that I don't like to take people away from TMM, but this I had to. Yes, I can make. I told him this year is gone. Next year, अच्छे से strength करो. Of course, all the strength was quite poor, which is why he developed it in the first place. Issues were there. So, अगर pain है on the bone, then you will have to treat it medically ASAP. Why? Because other bone, if it quickly recovers, maybe 1 or 2 weeks you stop running, you treat it, and then maybe do a trial run and शायद फिर चला भी जाए. Okay, so the sooner you do it, the better. If you wait till closer to the TMM phase, there is very little hope. इसमें taping also sometimes does not help. I don't remember which year it was. It was 1 year after TMN. This guy called me. He was not my patient. He called me and said that मुझे बोला था सब डॉक्टर्स ने भागो मत, लेकिन मैं फिर भी भागा हूँ और अभी he had full cracks in both the shins and he was laid up ऐसा. So now 6 months are gone of life, not just running. Okay, so shin splints never avoid. If there is pain, then treat it ASAP. So let's break quickly for exercise, demo exercises.
Sometimes you get this muscles, there is
Yes, that is different. So I'm showing you that. There is a way to distinguish how serious it is. If it is pain on the bone, then it is serious. It needs a X-ray, MRI, CT, physio. Okay, ortho physio. But if it is not on the bone and if it is on the muscle only, then it needs either aggressive self-treatment, and I'll tell you what that is, or you need to ASAP say physio. Because time is less, I would say immediately shower. Right? So let's look at that. No, you are okay. Who will come? You come. So just pull this up. Yeah. Okay, turn this. Make sure it's you. Not like that. Vertical. दिख रहा है ना? हाँ. So now this is the shin area, correct? What do you want to check? ये जो bone है, नी से लेके नीचे तक. Okay, touch on your bone and put pressure on it and see whether there is pain. Was there pain? No. Okay. If this was painful, this is an emergency situation. You need to go get X-ray, ortho, MRI, everything. उसके बाजू में जो मसल है इधर, अब नेक्स्ट इसको प्रेस करके देखना. If there is pain here, that means it's a muscular origin shin splints. This is okay. इसको self treat कर सकते हैं. But some people develop pain here. इसको भी प्रेस करके देखो. Because this bone can get stressed from two things. Tibialis anterior, which is this muscle, अगर ये tight हो गया है, nobody strengthens this muscle. Now, which runner you've seen who strengthens this muscle? Nobody. So if it is weak, then यहाँ पे pressure आएगा. या तो फिर calf पे problem है तो this part will hurt. Okay, closer to the bone. So if it is bone, then you get it checked. If it is muscle, then you treat it how I'm showing you. So to do that, I'm rolling. First you do calf, you have to do all of it. You have to do calf rolling, you have to do tibialis anterior rolling also. And if there is pain and trigger points, then you have to make sure that you do trigger point release techniques that also I'm showing you. Okay, so calf rolling. Put it up so we can see your muscle ले लो. Now turn your foot out and roll. Okay? This needs to happen. ये जैसे ही खत्म हो गया, you will do a calf stretch. So calf stretch is this. Right? This is easy to do. जहाँ step मिल गया, ledge मिल गया, you do this one. So hold it. Now this is a stretch for the gastroc, which is this muscle. But you also need to stretch the soleus, which is here. उसके लिए कैसे stretch करोगे? Knee straight है. अगर knee straight है तो gastroc is stretching this one. And then just bend the knee a little bit. This will make sure that my soleus will stretch. Okay? Stretching first, foam rolling, and then stretching. Now let's do here. For this one, it's difficult to actually just say to get this the front part. अगर ये tight है, you may want to do this. Just roll it nicely. Okay, you are rolling along that muscle all the way down. Go down fully. And then if you find कि यहाँ पे कहीं पे pain है, that means that is a trigger point. If you find that one spot में pain. समझो foam rolling calf करते वक्त you thought कि पूरा तो tight है नहीं, लेकिन there is one point that's painful. Then what do you do for it? You do trigger point release. How do you do that? Place the ball here, wherever the point was painful. Now cross the leg on top of it and lift your body. So you feel that pressure. And just hold it. Don't try to roll. थोड़ा pressure आने दो. Higher pressure. It's painful. If you have a trigger point, then it's very painful. But that's how it's going to go by doing this repeatedly. Okay, how you can do it? For the front?
No, just the static.
Trigger point नहीं मिलता है. So foam rolling करने पे you will understand if you have a trigger point. If you find a trigger point, roller से करके ज़्यादा जाता नहीं है. You have to use ball.
What is the time and the duration we should do?
Yes. So foam rolling 1 minute
For that.
for that each of that area. Straight side 3 minutes for the calf. Then soleus also. Right? So calf 1 minute each. Trigger point you have to hold it for 30 seconds minimum.
Same spot.
Same spot. And you have to do repetitions of 3. Because every time you do, no, immediately of 3.
And that should be repeat of how many times?
Repeat it twice a day. Till it goes away. Okay? So if you don't have trigger point balls, definitely keep them with you. It's very useful, especially glute points, hamstring, calf. इसमें if you have trigger points, it will is very useful, very well. All right, now ITB. I told you about ITB. Who knows ITB rolling? You know? Come. So shin splits, you guys have understood what to do to treat it. You'll foam roll and stretch how I've shown you. Stretching for tibialis anterior, Vajrasan position. Do not bother your leg. Vajrasan is this. This is the only way to stretch the front of the leg. So once you ball से अच्छे से उसको points निकालो, उसके बाद ये position में बैठो. If you are flexible enough, then you can go back. पीछे जितना हो सके. Got it? That's the how you will. So this takes care of shin splints. Of course, you have to do obsessively ice that area. So every 2 hours, 10 minutes करके देखो, then it goes. Okay, so shin splints takes time. For ITB. So if you have pain on the outer side of the knee, then this is what you do. ITB rolling. Side plank position. This foot in front. Yes. Now. Okay, now this is a big area. So you have to make sure कि पूरा area ले लो. Bottom knee straight. Bottom knee straight. Very good. So he is doing it closer to the hip now.
Closer to the hip and near the hip.
Then he has to take it down and do here also. Yes. because the whole thing is tight, but it is generally tightest closer to the knee. So now don't try to do that. पहले ऊपर का खत्म करो, then shift the roller down here and then roll it. लेकिन knee के side पे touch नहीं करना है.
Okay.
Make sure you don't touch the side of the knee. Yes, don't touch the bone. Foam rolling is not meant for bones. It is meant for matting. Got it? So come nice and close to that. Now, अगर ITP syndrome है, अगर pain यहाँ है, you will also need to roll out the quad and back of the hamstring. So how will you do that? थोड़ा turn करो, turning body. Okay, that will get the outer hamstring. इसको अच्छे से roll करो. Maybe you have trigger points there. If you have trigger points, then you put the trigger point ball there and release that point as well. Okay, then quad. How do you do outer quad? Go in a plank position. Foam rolling for the outer quad. So place the ball there. I will place the roller there. Got it? थोड़ा turn करो body को. Okay, now if you want to get outer quad, how will you do it? Little bit down. Okay? All these need to be nice and properly rolled out. After this, you want to do stretches. ITP stretch.
So after only once this side and one that side, or
Outer.
simultaneously?
हाँ, middle तो करो.
No, outer side you can't do both the legs at a time.
You can, or if the roller is big enough, you
Turn
can.
it out.
Yeah, you can shift it to the side and do it.
To the
Or
side and
single.
side. Okay,
Yes, you can do single also.
that will be proper.
हाँ, that puts more pressure. Definitely. Okay, now to stretch. Lie on your back. Lie on your back. Let me show you stretch. To stretch the ITP, bend both the knees. Cross one leg over. पूरा tight cross करो. ऐसा. Okay? Starting position is this. Now, if I have crossed the right leg over the left, I will go to the right. If this stretches the right ITP. Stretch आ रहा है ना? Okay, there are other ways people stretch the ITP. This one, wall wala. More effective, this one. Right? So stretch it, foam roll it first and then do this stretch. This will get the ITP properly. You want to also make sure you stretch what? Your hamstrings and your quads. How will you stretch your hamstrings? Both legs straight. One leg up. Please use a belt. Without a belt, अच्छे से नहीं होता है. Knee straight. Okay. Now all stretches to be held 30 seconds at a time, at least 3 repetitions. Otherwise, it's not useful. Right? This is a hamstring stretch. Let's go quad stretch. Quad stretch you can either do lying down में इतना stretch नहीं आता. Let's do standing. This one. Yes. Now the correct way to do a quad stretch, pull it in और पीछे ले जाओ और पीछे ये leg cross हो जाना चाहिए ठीक हो You feel it? You should feel it a little bit in the front of the hip also. What do you see most runners doing? This. ये क्या stretch कर रहा है बाबा?
So as behind as possible.
As behind as possible and close to the other leg. Alright? So this was for the ITP and of course also for the runner's knee. You have knee. Thank you. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about breathing. What are your breathing strategies right now? Is there a certain way that works for you? Have you consciously done any breathing while you run gymnastics?
When I start for first kilometer active, do normal breathing as the first kilometer or 2 kilometers maximum. Keep the mouth shut and do the breathing through nose only. Normal. But thereafter, I exhale through mouth and inhale through nose.
Yes. This strategy works
And
for a
this-
lot of runners. Yes.
And this not every breathing like that, but it's maybe after 3-4 breathing.
So you keep changing, na?
Keep
Mouth, only nasal plus mouth and combination you do.
Yeah.
Yes, this works for a lot of runners. Some runners do 3 in, 6 out, 3 in, 3 out. They match it to their footsteps. All those things also works. That is what you are doing. So whatever breathing technique that is working for you now is what's going to help you in your marathon. So consciously think. Right now you probably don't even know कि क्या है मेरा breathing technique. ना तो वो सोचो क्या है अभी. So that when you do, if you do run out of breath, if you feel low energy, if your endurance is going down, hill hai, pedal road, that time this will come useful. But remember the diaphragmatic breathing that I taught you, the belly breathing. That's the one that you should be doing before you run. During also in between, do a few cycles of that and then after. Okay, that takes care of your breathing.
Sometimes like your full.
Yes.
So that the maximum makes easily you get more
You
oxygen.
get more oxygen. So the fact is why this stamina issues and all that happens is because right now, as we speak, our lungs are not being fully used. Air is actually trapped in the last bits of the lungs because we don't exhale everything out. So वो पीछे का पीछे रह जाता है और वो निकलता ही नहीं है. So then how will you be able to take a deep breath in, right? So to teach yourself that this works. So 3 in, 6 out. While you do longer exhalation, you're pushing all that air out of your lungs. But also holding your breath helps. So this breathing technique also helps a lot. Don't do it during running, you will get dizzy. You want to practice it to make sure that your lungs are good. So you breathe in, and then you hold your breath. Okay, practice it away. Expand your lungs, push the air into your belly and into your lungs. Now hold that breath. जितना टाइम होल्ड कर सकते हो करो, maybe 6 seconds, 10 seconds hold करो. Now after you hold, again take another breath in. और आ रहा है क्या? Now push it all out. When you force your lungs to take in more air and move that end alveoli is up there. And then when you push it out, it all comes out. Okay, this is a great breathing technique that you can use along with the belly breathing that I taught. Cool? Shoes. I saved it for last because there is lots to say, but now I've run out of time. Shoes. Running shoes, there is a lot of science behind that, and this I do really well. In fact, recently, some of you may know that I had shoe clinic. Shoe clinic is basically runners coming in to figure out what is the right shoe for them. Okay? You must know your foot type and what then this is going to cause an injury somewhere. Is this a good time to buy a shoe?
No. Still buy.
This
Still
is
buy
not.
1 month is still.
You have about a week 10 days max. Okay, because फिर थोड़ा सा run करके you will break in the shoes. You cannot buy a shoe. You know what people do? Expo में shoe खरीदते हैं.
They run on it.
हाँ.
They are using that in a race day. Petty
Yes.
pack. They take petty
That
pack.
is shocking to me. But you know how many runners do that?
They do inauguration on the day, same day, running day. And they get a bite and all that.
Bike no, you will immediately get an injury.
Yeah.
And पूरा next year शायद निकल जाए उसमें.
Because your feet are not comfortable with it.
Shoes have to be broken in.
Yeah.
They are sitting somewhere from the factory, एक जगह बैठे हैं वो, खड़ा हो चुके हैं. Your feet have to adapt to it. The shoe has to be broken in.
It's molds with
Okay,
your.
जब कपड़ा नया खरीदते हो पहले ही डालते हो क्या? धोते हो ना उसको. Something like that. You have to break that shoe in. You have to do short runs in that. Then do your longer runs. So now, that's why I did the shoe clinic last week because that would be perfect time. Now also in the next 1 week, 10 days is a good time. You can buy the shoe, do your short runs, do one long run, take it. Okay, अभी भी थोड़ा सा time है to do this. the point was that do not use a brand new shoe immediately for race day. दूसरा क्या करते हैं लोग? खरीद तो लिया अभी जूता, ब्रांड न्यू ना, अभी नहीं यूज करेंगे, बचा के रखेंगे उसको रेस डे के लिए. Some people use race day runs and training runs के अलग shoes. Do you know that? There are people who do that.
I do.
You do it. If you run enough races, then that's a good start. Which you probably do.
No, I do the long run on that day, on about 35, which I'm using the shoes for the
For the
marathon race.
Here's my take on it.
Yeah.
You bought the shoe.
Yes.
You don't know whether the shoe is a neutral shoe, a stability shoe, a motion control shoe, or a minimal shoe. You don't know. तो आपने दो जूते ले लिए. Whatever reason you bought it, maybe your friend liked it, maybe the color was nice, maybe it was on sale. Whatever reason you bought the shoe. If the two shoes are different, one is a neutral, one is a motion control. Again, it is a chance for injury. You cannot run in two different types. You have to run in the shoe that's correct for you, na? If you are an overpronator, then you run in a motion control shoe, right? Otherwise, you run in a neutral shoe. You put as neutral. So that science little bit you have to know that as I blindly shoe market. There is a lot of science behind that. I have a lot of videos on it. If you go to my channel, go to playlist, go to running, I have shoes pe alag playlist. Okay, so there are a lot of things that you can pick up from there. So that's about shoes. I think the topics that I wanted to cover, I have covered. There's no questions?
Generally, what shoes? Like, there are many companies, and every company claims they are the best. Every company claims they are the best. So how will you? I mean, but how will one judge that which shoes? One is it's neutral motion. That's not, but still it's a Nike.
Which brand is best for
Which
you?
brand is good for what type of? Like
Right.
I'm sure every Nike has certain strength. Puma has certain strength. Brooks has certain strength.
Yes,
Like
yes.
how can you?
How to judge?
Can
Great question, great question. Every shoe brand has neutral, stability, motion control, and minimal shoe, right? Now, some shoes are heavier than others. Some shoes have more of a heel toe drop. Okay, that also you should know. Some shoes are narrow in structure. Some shoes are broader. Which ones are what? The A6 is more for a broad foot. If you have a broad wide, then they even make wide in that. So if you are a little bit heavy set runner, if you are overweight, and if you have a broad foot, then A6 and Brooks are perfect for you because they are a little bit heavy shoes, but they have a lot of stability in them. So it will not wear down also. And plus they are broad. But if you have been running for some time, then you will find that the A6 and Brooks are slightly on the heavy side. So then you may want to look at a Nike or a Adidas or a Skechers. Okay, those are some of the other brands. Of course, now Saucony, New Balance, Hoka, all these are also there. Mizuno. These are a little bit lightweight shoes. Is a lightweight shoe right for everybody? Maybe not. If you're heavy set, then no. But if you are a new runner, then no. If you are a new runner, then you want to wear the little bit heavier, more sturdier shoes. But the more you run, the more lightweight shoes you're going to want. Okay, because अब तक foot adapt हो चुका है, brain adapt हो चुका है, all your muscles now know run पे गए तो क्या करना है. Everything is adapted. So now you can go for a lightweight shoe, or even do a minimal shoe. Like he runs in what are those called? Lunas, sandals. Okay, so then you can experiment with start running with some of those. Minimal shoes are for those people who are not overpronators. So if you ask me about brands, would I rate one brand more superior than the other? No, not necessarily. I would judge it based on these factors. If you have a narrow sort of foot, the Nike and the Adidas are perfect. Like
what will you put narrow? Like, what will you call this much broad?
what would you say?
I mean, I've been using Nike for almost I don't know how many years.
Yeah, so what that does is it creates compression this way.
Okay.
So it doesn't allow your foot to breathe inside the shoe.
Doctor, many times you get blisters on the
Blisters.
knees.
That is
This
because
is
of
very common because of the wide and narrow.
big,
This is because of the wide foot and narrow shoes.
yeah, so black toenails. Anybody's had black toenails?
I have.
Black toenails and pain sometimes in the foot,
Yeah.
metatarsal fractures I see because of that. That shoes are very narrow. You have a broad foot and you are sewing it in that narrow shoe. Plus size अगर गलत हो गया.
Size.
If the shoe size is incorrect, so for me, the way I will check my shoe size is stand. I'm trying the shoe, stand and then see इधर कितना जगह है.
1 inch, half inch
One full thumb
should go on.
जगह है. This is the correct size. Runners का यहाँ touch हो रहा होता है.
Okay.
That is a
It also
problem.
swell during that.
Yeah.
Yes, they swell during the run.
And Asics they have 2D, 3D, some wider.
They have wide out.
So I used that thing, so it is minimized.
But you actually have narrow feet.
Okay. Still, I had a Asics. I had on that blisters on the nails.
Then good, then you change. Then maybe
And-
sometimes it is space on this side, but sometimes it is space in the front. So maybe check which one. I to say buy the biggest shoe that you possibly can.
Yeah, yeah.
ये check करो कि ये पीछे से उठना नहीं चाहिए यहाँ से।
Okay, it's not.
यहाँ
Pull
से
out.
उठ नहीं रहा है तो you're fine. The heel has to be held properly by the shoe. बाकी आगे का जितना जगह दे सकते हो दे दो.
And doctor, it doesn't matter how you run also. You got a proper shoes. Sometimes people on they put more pressure on their toes
Toes.
or this part of the. So if you are put more pressure on your toes, you are leaning towards that side. So you may get a blisters more. Even the shoes will
See,
be
what are blisters? Blisters are basically excessive weight falling on that
Right.
spot. That's it. Friction,
friction with the shoes and the body.
right? Body weight extra वहाँ जा रहा है.
Yeah, yeah.
अगर आपका blister यहाँ है तो you are an overpronator. आपका पैर ऐसे गिर रहा है.
Yeah, right.
If you have a blister on the outer heel, then that is because you are running excessive there.
Yes, right.
Correct? So how you run, the shoe type, all that can make the blister go away. You have to figure that out.
Then you have to do that gait
Gait
analysis.
analysis. So उसमें I find that sometimes one foot is बराबर है,
Yeah.
neutral है, but the
Okay.
other one foot is flat.
Okay.
So then I have to give insoles
Okay.
for runners. Insoles अगर डाला है तो then weight distribution happens properly when you're running.
So you need to analyze both the feet differently.
Yes.
And the way you are running, sometimes people they put more weight on the left hand side.
That also happens.
Sometimes they lean this side.
Yes, yes, yes.
Dominant.
So yeah.
Dominant foot.
Yeah, yeah.
So we do overuse. We have overuse patterns in our
Okay,
body.
okay.
Na? We use one side more sometimes. But also I have seen hand.
Yeah.
One hand itna movement and one hand kuch robot.
Okay. And what is a
So all
proper
those
doctor? What is a proper way of putting your hands this way?
No,
Sometimes
back,
back this way.
pushing it backwards.
Sometimes they do this way, rolling.
No, all that is wrong.
Wrong.
So today I was at a 10K, I was watching people run, I was like, hey Bhagwan, it's an occupational hazard.
So it matters also the way you are putting your hand because it balances your legs and the body.
One, you don't want to do rotation.
Rotation here.
अगर extra rotation हो रहा है, what are you doing? अगर
Yeah,
body
yeah.
इस तरफ जा रहा है, ये body नीचे
It is
कैसे
going
जाना पड़ेगा?
Awkward.
To compensate. This is what your body has to do in order so you don't fall off.
Yes.
Okay? So you are creating extra torsion there and beneath the knee. Na?
Okay.
So if you do too much rotation, that is a problem. If you do too much arm swing, you're wasting energy. Because then energy कहाँ से आएगा? Foot से आएगा.
Right.
Foot के muscles इतने छोटे हैं, calf muscle इतना छोटा है. And you're causing overuse injury. So hand movements also impact.
Much right.
You should land just because landing like this is good or landing on your heel is good or landing full.
Landing.
Ask the question again.
Yeah, how should one what is a good way to land while running on your toe, on your heel or full feet like flat? What is a better way or efficient or
So my answer to that is no comments.
You adapt as per your body.
So everybody has a running style. There was बीच में there was lot of studies that said that heel strike नहीं होना चाहिए. So running heel strike, you should try to change it. You want to do flat foot, mid foot. So center of the foot falling first rather than this. Okay. Now I don't necessarily try to change that because if you try to change that, the neural pathways have already set. You are running a certain way. That's all how you know how to run. Correct? मैं कुछ change करने जाऊंगी तो उसमें एक गड़बड़ हो सकती है. You can pick up an injury. The only time I tell people not to do heel strike is if they have knee pain or heel pain. Okay? If you have any of those conditions, you may want to gently try to do more mid-foot landing. But as a rule of thumb, it is better to run mid-foot. But it is easier said than done. It's very tough to change that. It's not easy. You have to train yourself for a long time because remember it's all connected to the brain. How it's so tough to change our habits and our behaviors. Lifestyle. कोई बोलेगा lifestyle change करो कितना tough है. Change this habit. It is not going to happen overnight. That's the brain pathways have already set. उसको change करने को time करता है. People give 1 month to year to change that pattern. But if you have these conditions, not right now, after TNM, you figure that क्या change करने की जरूरत है in the running.
Or next year.
Right now, none of these running form things you have to change. Huh?
Yeah.
This is info and general knowledge only. Okay, questions?
Ma'am, is there a minimum degree of elevation during the icing process? Like I was seeing that.
How high?
Yeah.
How
Can I
high?
sit on this chair and
No.
put my leg there?
Good question.
Yeah.
Excellent question. So icing needs to be done above the heart level. So if he is lying down, तो इतना height चलता है because his heart is lower than the leg. Got it? But if you are sitting and you are putting it up, the heart is higher, no? Why are we doing that? Because we want the blood flow to go back to the heart and circulation to improve to that area. Now you will ask me back पे pain है तो क्या करूँ? फिर कुछ मत करो, elevate मत करो, ice pack रख दो पहले. Okay, this is for more for extremities, arms, अगर है तो above the heart. Answer your question. Questions? We will wind up soon in 5 minutes or so.
Beside icing, there is doctor, is it necessary to have a warm, hot,
No.
nothing?
No.
Only icing is
Runners
it?
never.
Never.
Oh, historical, yeah, look, it could.
Historical gun. So,
What is the difference in the two? Like how it? Yeah. Or historically, I mean, I've been saying that okay, oh, garam hai.
take low.
Say, so what is the difference? I mean, how it affects change? How it impacts differently? Like
Now, the only time that I have people use a hot pack is if they have chronic pain. Pain that is there for years together. Yeah, there is a lot of stiffness in the mostly for backs. Yeah, arthritic knees. That's the only time I will use a hot pack. What is the hot pack doing? It's increasing circulation in that area. What does increasing circulation mean? That there is more fluid in that area. Okay. If you have stiffness, having more fluid is good because then it's going to mobilize that joint. It will open up. But when you are running, what do? All the blood is pulling into your feet. Because you are using that part. Whatever muscles get used, that's where the blood is going to go. You know that. खाना खाने के बाद ठंडी क्यों लगती है?
Because it goes into the
Right. Whatever you use, your blood is going to go there. So your feet are now actually swollen. You can't see it, but they are swollen. Your lower limbs are swollen. Okay? There is a mild degree of swelling and inflammation in this. When you put hot on it, it's going to swell more. The inflammation actually will increase. अच्छा बहुत लगता है hot pack. It feels so good, गरम से. But it's actually making the problem worse. So ice will control that inflammation. It will reduce that swelling locally, and it will make sure the pain goes away. Because now the pain is because of the inflammation. Clear?
Just 1 minute.
Any tips for warming up? Pre-run?
Pre-run.
Pre-race rather.
3 days. What are you doing now?
Almost nothing. Almost nothing.
So start ASAP then. Start ASAP. We'll do that now. Questions? Warm up, cool down definitely needs to happen. If you're not, then quickly we'll demo. We did some stretches this morning for Tata Ultra promo run, so we'll do that.
Doctor, twice while I was running for a full marathon, T1, I didn't get a cramp while running, completing the full course. Yeah,
Yes.
full course. But no sooner I removed my shoes, I had a cramp on my feet. Twice.
Now, the strategy, उसमें क्या हुआ? This has now happened because of muscle fatigue.
Okay.
When you are running, your brain is active, your pathways are
Yeah.
active, everything is happening. After you run, if you immediately stop,
Yeah.
it's a shock to the brain and the whole
Okay.
muscular skeletal
Okay,
system.
okay.
So the weakest link will fall.
Okay.
Weakest link is the muscle at the end. So at the end जो cramp आता है, उसके लिए after you finish running, you want to walk थोड़ा.
Okay.
Walk a little bit. Don't immediately stop and
Yeah.
have tea coffee. Okay, or beer for that matter. Recovery lounge में whoever is coming on
Yeah.
Sunday. Not a good practice.
So we should wait for walk for how many minutes or what distance we have
Whatever
to.
you feel comfortable. So
Because I have taken about the 500 meters of walk. Then I went to the recovery area.
that was not enough.
That was not enough. Yeah. Suddenly it because of the temperature of your body
Yeah, because
and the
it's
outside
cold.
temperature,
Could be that
it
also.
may be colder because of that.
Could be that also.
So suddenly it becomes you get a catch.
Correct.
So
walking
you
a
need
bit
to
down.
wait for 5 minutes, let that thing cool down.
Cool down.
Body
Yes.
temperature.
Questions? All good? What do you do the day of after you finish running? Other than partying, I know you're partying. But other than that, what else should you do?
Next day, same day.
Same day. Same day, next day, 1 week. What should you do?
Drink
I have to
water.
take a walk.
Drink water as much as possible.
Hydration, keep on hydrating.
Yes.
Keep on.
And have something rich in protein.
Protein.
Normally.
Within half an hour, you have to have something like protein intake and hydration.
Yes. Within
Because
half an
TNM, we
hour.
get whatever they give goodies, it takes hardly more than 45 minutes. And
Acha.
that thing is not so.
Yeah, there is sandwich and so on.
Yeah, sometimes they give Maggi noodles and the cake and all that, but it is better than
Let's not
Vasabi.
get into that.
So.
So yeah, you will need to figure out
So we should
good
carry our-
nutritious protein. Definitely hydration.
Yeah.
But the same day, the next day, and the week after, you have to do excellent recovery work. Recovery में क्या आता है? Sleep आता है.
Sleep.
Okay, need to catch up on your sleep. You have to recovery run with active recovery, foam rolling. You have to do. अभी सब खत्म हो गया, अभी foam roller रख दो वापस. That should not happen, ना? So foam rolling next day. Okay, same day also. So people who are doing half marathons on the same day, you can do foam rolling, stretching, even deep tissue massage. Very useful. Definitely get one done. Okay, in fact, now also might be a good idea to get one deep tissue done. It will recover your body very well. But those who are doing full marathon, you want to wait 24 to 48 hours before you do foam rolling or deep tissue massage. Okay, let the body come back to homeostasis.
So doctor, how about a full body massage? Some people go take a massage.
Yeah, so full body massage, if you are doing more relaxing spa, wala, that is
Not spa.
That is useless for us.
No, not that.
Deep
That also,
tissue.
yeah.
Deep tissue
yeah.
is what you need.
Deep
Yes.
tissue.
Sports massage and deep
Yes.
tissue massage is what you need. I would recommend that you do it 10 days prior to the PMM.
Okay.
That will set the stage, and all week you will do your rolling and stretching, so recovery अच्छे से हो जाएगी. Then your body is prepped to run. Okay, no strength workouts, aggressive workouts in the last 10 days. Tapering. Afterwards, 1 week, sleep, ice, foam roll, food, make sure proper protein intake is going in. And of course, you wanna avoid things that dehydrate you. What things dehydrate you? Tea, coffee, and alcohol. Yes.
In fact, your coke and something that is
Also dehydrate.
dehydrate yourself.
Correct. Other than the excessive sugar, it's also very dehydrating. Correct.
But some people, in fact, few people are having a coke or something like in between the runs. In fact, I am also trying that. After last 2-3 kilometers, I'm taking some sip of the coke.
That is for the caffeine.
Caffeine. Yeah, actually.
For the caffeine. So you know those blue gels.
Yeah.
So those also have caffeine. Some of these energy drinks have caffeine. There is a lot of whether that is good for you or not. Some people it works, some people it doesn't. But I would say अगर अभी तक कर रहे हो तो ठीक है, maybe on that day if you need it you do it, but it's not necessary.
Caffeine will give you the energy, I mean, make you more aware and increase the alertness. That's it.
So caffeine does help, but I wouldn't artificially do that, especially not on race day, for sure. Okay, we'll break for warm up and cool down. I'll show you exercise. You will come. Somebody hold the phone, na? We can hold. So warm up has to be dynamic movements. You need to spend about 8. I've come up with this 8 minutes. I don't know why, because 10 minutes वो भी तो कोई करता नहीं है. 10 minutes for warm up करना है कोई नहीं. 5 मिनट कम है. So switch in between 8 minutes. Okay, make sure you do 8-minute proper warm up. Also cool down. 8 minutes. So what will you do? Exercises that we did this morning. So we start with this, and you can go jumping one, running one also. So this will your heart also warms up along with the muscles, lower body muscles. Next one is this, yes. But this. Hand up. Okay? So this will warm up on your glutes and your hamstrings and calves. Next one. Okay, this will warm up your lower limbs but also your lower back. Your spine and hip also it will warm up. If your hips are stiff, your lower back and hips are stiff, then that also doesn't help you with the efficient running.
Squatting.
Half squat. So not full squat, half squat and then coming up on your toes. Okay, this is going to warm up and you can do this as fast as you need to warm up your heart also. This will work on your quads, your glutes and your calves. Okay, instead of doing a pure squat, do it squat plus. So going up on your toes and then side these. Okay, these are all movements, no holding. Now for cool down, what are we doing for cool down? Stretches. So this one is holding 30 seconds. So this, what is it stretching? It's stretching the lower back, hamstrings, calves and also the ITB. Okay, that's why you cross the leg, so it gets the ITB also. Then backward bend. So for backward bend, hands on the lower back, and then backward bend. Okay? So by this, I don't see a lot of runners doing this one, but this is a good one to do because when you're running, especially if your core is not strong, then it creates a lot of stress on the lower back. This one will immediately relieve that. So make sure you use this post run. Quad stretch, the one that I showed you how to do, correct, is the. Okay, this I showed you a minute ago. In and back. Right? Glute stretch. So hold the ankle, hold underneath the ankle. Yes, and then pull it up as much as you can. Glutes and lower back. Okay, and then this. This will get the whole posterior chain, including the calf. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah, this is in the live session, so if you forget and need to go back and reference it, you can just go back to that link and do that. Right? So this is warm up, cool down. Are you guys others are doing na?
Yeah.
Warm up, cool down. So similar?
Yeah.
Check.
How is Zumba before the race? Yeah, keep Zumba for 15 minutes. Is it advisable for that?
उसमें
Because
ही खत्म हो जाता है
you
ना।
lose lot of energy. You lose lot of energy in that. You should do light warm up.
जब जुम्बा की बात करते तो भांगड़ा चालू हो गया।
हाँ,
जुम्बा का एक फेज था, हाँ, and then जुम्बा के बाद भांगड़ा, and then something else also has started.
But I've seen serious runners, they keep aside.
They do their own homework.
And those who are
You beginners वाले करते हैं।
में आने के लिए they do all that भांगड़ा and when they start, they भांगड़ा.
उसके बाद एनर्जी पूरी खत्म, फिर अभी 10K कैसे होगा?
So,
Yes, I agree. So you stick to whatever warm-up you're doing. Don't do anything.
5 kilometers is okay if you're running. 40 kilometers, you cannot do for 20 minutes of Zumba.
You can't do that.
You lose energy.
8 minutes अपना warm-up करो,
बस.
enough.
And when after the anxiety before the race, sometimes you don't want to go to multi-time of washroom. That difficult.
Yes.
Control
उसका
the-
I can't help you.
Sometimes you go to the holding area and go there you get a call. You have to go for a.
Yeah.
So these are all the things you can't.
Yes. These
Very
are all
important things.
practical things you have to.
I've seen people running after 1 kilometer going for a pee. So controlling the mind also better part of this is.
Okay, so we are ending the session.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you very much.
I hope it was useful.
Yes.
Great. So if you can quickly share, Mike, we can end the session. Quickly share one thing that you